Welcome back, everybody. Howard Bush here with the Bush Push. I want to talk to you about somebody who used to sell Cadillacs next to me in my next building, and his name was Bud Ross. He's been around since 1958 selling cars. One of the best networkers I ever knew. And tell you a little bit about Bud Ross. When it came to talent, it probably wasn't the most talented salesperson out there, but what he was, it was a grinder, hard worker, and all he did was just call people day after day. Even went out one time and had so many owners who couldn't call them all. He went to the community college nearby where he lives and put a thing on the wall, a little bulletin saying anybody wants part-time work, 3 4 hours a night, and they would call him and he would pay him $8 10 an hour and have that young girl going to school make calls for him. And he was very tenacious. When I say tenacious, if he had a customer that he had talked to in the 1960s who never bought a car, he would still call that customer back every couple of years and say, have you got anything yet? Just follow up was incredible. Kind of a disciple of Joe Girard. Would go into a restaurant and he would have his wife go in and get the reservation, sit at the table, and he would go in and put his business card under everybody's wiper blade. He had a business complex across from his dealership. Well, once a week, every morning, he would go there and put his business card under everybody's wiper blades in that business complex. I was watching him one time in the Cadillac showroom, and he had a pretty tough customer. And the customer was in the 90s looking at a Seville or a DeVille, and he asked Bud Ross, well, what's the difference between the two cars? And, Bud was like, and the customer said, what's the difference, Bud? What's the difference between the two cars? And Bud says, they both have 4 doors. The Seville's a little faster, and he just wasn't the best salesman. But what he used to do is he would get on the phone with a customer and say, hi, folks, it's Bud Ross. It's the end of the month now. I was talking to the manager about your situation. We reviewed it. He came up with some good ideas. Might not be able to get you that 23,000 difference, but he thinks he can get close to it. When would you like to come in so we can work out all the details and put you in your new Cadillac at the end of the month? And very effective at doing it. And they used to say, one of the general managers used to say about him, what Bud was the best at was bringing them. He knew how to bring them, and he brung them with the best of them. He used to bring 3 or 4 people in that store every day, and that's what made him successful. Talent is something that we all have. The ability he did is he worked on his networking skills. He was very hard at that, and all he did is he couldn't really sell them. The managers would have to come in and close his customers, and all he did was get him in the door, and he did the best job at that. One of the best networkers there is in the business, and his name was Bud Ross. And I just want to let everybody know that you don't have to be the most talented person at closing. You don't have to be the most talented person at with your personality. All you need to do is just have one good thing you're at and work hard at that one good thing and get people through the door like he did. And more appointments you bring in, the more sales he made. And that's the story for today. And always remember, you plus the Bush Push equals success.